Joe Burrow is confident that T. Higgins will return in 2025 in Cincinnati, but I'm not so sure. The Bengals have put themselves in a very bad situation because they let this man, Jamar Chase, walk into 2024 without his extension. They played a little game called Jamar Chase Roulette, and they're going to lose badly because Jamar Chase is, as we talked about it on last night's show, and we're going to do a whole show around this probably tonight when I get back from a little event that I got to go to. So I'll be late tonight, or shall I say I'm early tonight with the show right now, and then we'll come back and do another show. But I won't be live at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm live right now instead. And on tonight's show, when we come back graveyard style, we're doing a mock draft probably, or a top 25 ranking, and Jamar Chase is number one. He's the number one player in fantasy football. He's probably the most important player, at least equal to maybe a handful of players. The most important player to his team. Jamar Chase is an absolute marvel. And this Bengal team absolutely screwed the pooch by not signing him to his new fat big extension this past offseason. And now they got to pay probably 2 times that amount because of what he's bringing to the table. And that affects T. Higgins. Joe Burrow obviously willing to do some things with his contract in order to bring both of his boys into the fold for 2025 on new deals. I just don't know if it's possible. Let's talk about it. The Fantasy Football Show, Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern show. A little early today. A little early, but we'll be back doing another show after this. That show begins right now.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember it.
Get burrowed.
Get burrowed is right. T. Higgins, according to Joe Burrow's confidence that he's confident that T. Higgins will remain a Bengal in 2025 and beyond. He wants to keep the band together, and it's going to cost this team a pretty penny. The problem, though, if they go this route, and they tried to address things on the defensive side of the football and around the entirety of the squad this offseason. They did try. Like they did a college try. The problem is the amount of money you got to pay T. Higgins. He's going to command a lot. He's going to become maybe a problem in this equation for Burrow because he's going to want money that he probably doesn't deserve. As much as we like T. Higgins, he brings a lot to the table. He does not command Jamar Chase money. He does not command even probably A.J. Brown money of the offseason now. A.J. Brown's a whole nother topic. We might have to go live on that in a separate video because A.J. Brown is making trouble in Philly. And him and Hurts are beefing right now. They're not best friends. They're not the two best friends that anybody could have. Regardless of that, A.J. Brown got huge money that I don't think T. Higgins is, in my opinion, deserving of that type of money. I don't even know. I guess you pay him Ayuk money. I guess, and I'm not saying T. Higgins. I'm not saying A.J. Brown was that far off from Ayuk's money, but the guaranteed money, the trending in the 80 million guaranteed, the 70 million guaranteed, it's crazy. But are we there? Maybe we are there with T. Higgins. Maybe the contract extension that this man's going to sign, 115 million guaranteed, 125 million guaranteed, who knows what in the hell it's going to be. Maybe it does set up a pretty mediocre 75 mil guaranteed, 78 million guaranteed for a guy like T. Higgins. It's hard to know what the contracts are going to look like this offseason, especially as they get progressively bigger and bigger, and you don't expect it. You think, oh yeah, okay, the April deal that we're seeing out of this player, yeah, that's pretty big. And then when you get to August, it's so much more. It's so much greater. It's so much bigger. It's so much beefier. And this guy might end up pulling in 70 or 80 million guaranteed. Who the hell knows? But can this team afford to drop 120 plus million guaranteed to this man right here? Can this team then afford to come over, swing over, and give this man A.J. Brown money? It's hard to imagine. And there are teams that will pay him probably A.J. Brown money. I don't know that he deserves it in Cincy as the number 2. But let's say in New England said to wine and dine this man. They want to wine and dine him and bring him into the fold next year. Have Drake May have a nice, eligible fantasy football wide receiver 1 for us to lick our chops about. That's what we think New England's got in store for T. Hard to say. Where's he want to go? Maybe he doesn't want to leave anywhere. Maybe he'll give a hometown discount. Hard to say. But the question you got to ask yourself is if they pay top dollar for Jamar, and they will, and they pay near top dollar for a wide receiver 2 that is getting paid like another wide receiver 1, even if it's lower end or a slightly lower tier than this man right here, what money's left over for the defense? What money's left over for a team that has this man playing near perfect football? Joe Burrow is about as good as it gets right now. He's absolutely dropping loads all over the field. Every single game in and game out, he's near perfect. And he struggles to win games. They'll have no money to address the defense. What's all that going to look like? Hard to say. Hard to say. Where do we want T. Higgins? In Cincinnati over New England is my preference. In Cincinnati over Pittsburgh is my preference. I don't want T. Higgins in Pittsburgh with George Pickens. No offense to Drake May, who I like, but I don't want T. Higgins in New England with Drake May when he can catch footballs from Joseph cigar-smoking Burrow. Now, everyone's going to be pretty upset about what T. Higgins didn't do in week number 14. I get it. He crapped the bed on a lot of you. 20-something yards, didn't do anything. I get it. But he was on a heater walking into the Week 14 contest. He was doing some phenomenal things. I still feel like there's a lot of ability for him to get maximized value in a Bengal offense under the command of Joe Burrow versus a solo act in New England under Drake May, who I like a lot. I think Drake May is solid. But we got to ask ourselves where we want T to go. Are we just excited and we want to see change? Oh, I want to see a train wreck. Or, hey, I want to see T. Higgins go somewhere new and blow something up and just be this solo wide receiver 1 somewhere. Or do we wish upon a star that this man stays under the tutelage of Joseph cigar-smoking Burrow? That is my preference. Let's keep the band together if we can. Can we improve the defense through coaching? Can we coach up the defense? I'm not saying that's all you do. You've got a draft. You've got free agency. You don't have to spend top dollar on every piece. But maybe we need to up the, coaching commitment. We start delving into some different things that help this defense turn around and become pretty special. Because if you add a great defense to this offense, this becomes a special team. Right now, they are a half-built team that's capable of beating any team on any given Sunday if the Bengals can score enough points. But they don't have a defense that can probably march them through consecutive playoff wins enough to win a Super Bowl. That's where we're at. That is where we are at. Phone lines are open for anybody that wants to have a discussion about this topic right now. You ask about your fantasy team without at least addressing this situation first. You can do both. You will get the hang up button. You will get the toilet flush. Make sure you know what you're doing when you dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial into the Attic.shop phone lines. Do it live. Your boy is waiting for you. Again, we are here a little early tonight. We'll be back. Definitely after about, right around midnight Eastern. This is an early show. I apologize for being here early tonight. That's why the chat is a little bit tamed, and we have less viewers than normal because your boy didn't go live at the appropriate time, but that's okay. I also dropped a video, so notifications didn't go out to everybody because I dropped another video about an hour before this, and YouTube throttles back some of the notifications in that regard. I don't know why. So the chat will fill up as we go, so don't worry about that. Zeph, appreciate you. Smitty, 2 leagues, both first round buys, baby. This is we set back and relax. Yeah, attaboy Cap. Appreciate you. Nice job with the wins, my bro. Nice job. Here, how about this? You want to make jokes? Let's put you in a 10-minute timeout. Let's see how you enjoy not being able to talk for 10 minutes with that kind of garbage commentary you're dropping there, my guy. I made the playoffs, Smitty. Attaboy, Joel. Nice work. We got a lot of you that are crushing because of some players on this board. Zach Charbonnet, Isaac Guerrero. This is the video I dropped about an hour ago, the Week 15 waiver wire board. You can definitely go check out the waiver wire board. I go over all this. I go over why Sharps and Guerrero and Addison and Judy and Jennings and Nix and Darnold probably don't sit on a lot of your boards. They're available in a combination of, 15% and 19% availability. So that's normally not high enough. Guerrero, Sharps, Addison, Judy, Nix, and Darnold, all of those guys. That's normally not a high enough percentage to make my board. But because it's week 15 and because they're available, it's in enough leagues that it's important to have the conversation. I need to have it on the board, and if it doesn't apply to you, there's plenty of other names, and I go over that on the video. So make sure you get on over and watch this video after you watch this video, this live stream right now. Charbonnet absolutely exploding for you. There's new report out. We talked about this last night that Walker is going to require further testing on his calf, which is basically a telltale sign that Charbonnet is going to be unleashed for the next week or two. Maybe he ends up hitting IR. It smells like an IR type of news brewing, in that situation. He might not, but it does feel like that. Further testing's never a good sign. You don't suit up the next game and tear it up when you need to go for further testing. So, I don't know. It seems like this guy might be vaulting into people's lineups permanently for the next 3 weeks, and there are only 3 weeks left of football. Week 15, Week 16, Week 17. You better not play Week 18, or what are you doing? Guerrero, there is news today that Isaac Guerrero is not participating in practice on Tuesday. It's a short turnaround, so they're trying to rest him. We don't know if he'll be able to go. If he doesn't, make sure you pick up Patrick Taylor. Again, watch the waiver wire show, and you'll see Patrick Taylor right here, and we do touch on his value. He's a must-own grab standalone. He's also, of course, a must-cuff. And if you didn't cuff him already, you aren't paying attention to the cuff board conversation we have literally every single day on this channel. Taylor is a must-cuff. He is the new Guerrero. Guerrero is the new Mason. Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel. It's a very easy process to follow if you just pay attention. So, Patrick, Guerrero, league winners in unison. Charbonnet, league winner. League winner. Absolute league winner. Hope we never have to mention his name, but Corum can be a rags to riches league winner as well. So could Benson, so could Davis, even though Buffalo's hard to predict. So could Wright. So could this situation, but good God, the Jets are so bad. You saw this cuff crew fall all the way to 5, 6, maybe even 7, to be honest with you. I don't know that I can trust a single player on the Jets offense right now, but maybe Garrett Wilson, and that's only because we can regulate him down to another wide receiver spot because he's really a wide receiver 1 that you can't really even play as a wide receiver 1, but you have enough open spots in your wide receiver room and your lineup to probably squeeze him in, and so he is worth playing. But good God, this Jets team is awful, and I don't know how much I trust any of it walking into next year. We'll have to have a big debate about that one. Yeah, we'll have a lot of psychology this offseason, my boy. Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about it at all. I don't know if the phone lines...
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial in. I don't know if they were working earlier, but I reset them. Dial in. If you got a fantasy question, that's fine. Just briefly, let's talk about this and your thoughts on it before you jump into your selfish request for your fantasy football week 15 lineup evaluation or some BS like that. We're here for you. I'm here for you. But we do have a topic at hand, and it is this one right here, which in the offseason, this is a lot of how we attack, breaking news shows. Something brews, like this piece of news, and Joe Burrow talking about his confidence level, and then it kicks the live stream off, and then we have a whole bunch of amazing conversation around this particular situation and what we expect and what we predict and what we want and what we need. And what we need is the pancake stack to maybe this is on us. Maybe this is our fault for not giving T. Higgins enough respect to even be in the pancake stack animation.
The stack above all stacks. It's time to drop the pancake emoji in the live chat.
Maybe T is upset because we don't have him in that. Go ahead, Gump. Gump, you're live.
What's up, Smitty?
What's up?
Smitty? How we doing out there?
What's up, Gump? What can I do for you?
Well, I decided.
What'd you decide, Gump?
I freaking dropped AR5.
Okay, I don't know that was a wise move. I don't know that it was not a wise move. It kind of does depend on your situation. Who did you drop them for, Gump?
Well, I just dropped them for, I forgot who.
You forgot?
I still had 2 quarterbacks. Yeah, I still got 2 quarterbacks. I got Nix and I got Famous Jameis.
Call terminated.
The one and only.
Look,
So,
hold on.
week 15, week 15, well, I'm going to circle the wagons. I'm going with Famous Jameis against the what? The Dink and Dunk, Ben Dunkel, and his uncle, that's Mahomes, and freaking Andy Reid. And Famous Jameis is the upset of the week against the freaking...
But you don't even know who you dropped AR5 for. What if you need him, Gump? What if you need him?
I don't need him because Famous Jameis goes against Cincinnati.
Gump, you got 3 weeks to get through. You don't know that this is going to end well for Jameis.
I got this. Hey, listen. I got a log jam over here in the Pyramid River with all kinds of trout around, and I got a great big old log jam. And
You got
I
a
gotta
log
figure
jam?
this out. Yeah, the whole thing is that I got.
Pause. Hey, yeah. Gump. What are we hauling today in the truck?
We had bad news. Oh no, we're going empty. We're almost into Cheyenne, and they wouldn't give us no money to haul these loads, so we're just gonna go empty over here to Salt Lake City.
Driving empty. I don't like the sound of that. Last time you had cheesecake, you were hauling in the back of this truck.
Oh, that was delivered successfully. So we're getting back to Salt Lake where the big money is.
Okay. Take those empty trucks on down yonder. All right, Gump. Hey, gotta go, Gump. Good luck with Winston.
Got a question.
Go ahead.
Big question.
Okay, go ahead.
Keon Coleman. The highest points of the game. The Lions and the freaking Bills. What a factor is Keon Coleman going to play in Week 15? Is it big money? Is it like Salt Lake City, big money?
I don't know. We love Keon. We're a Keon country here, but I do tread lightly across those waters until we've got a proven product on the field, Gump. I don't know. I don't like what I'm hearing there. I will be rooting for Keon. We love Keon. We'll be celebrating his success if he does play, and he does play well. But I mean, it's tough. It's tough to lock him into a lineup in the playoffs in week number 1. Like you almost. No offense to Keon, but you almost need a little bit more secure option.
Schwartz is back week 15 with Famous Jameis. We're circling the wagons.
Okay. All right, Gump, I got to go. Appreciate you, Gump. Good luck with the haul.
We love Schwartz, right? We love Schwartz.
Okay. Gifted 5 memberships here from New Age Outlaws. If you got a gifted membership, thank the man who dropped the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Outlaw. Appreciate you, my man. You are the man, the myth, the legend. He's always giving back to the people. Let's go to this other super chat we got here from New Age, who dropped 5 gifted memberships. Now he drops a $10 super chat. If the Bengals pay T, I think Chase will really hold out next year. I predict T will be a commander next season. That's a great team and landing spot and prediction, the Commanders. I will say this, New Age, I don't think they negotiate a T. Higgins deal before they negotiate a Jamar Chase deal. I think they get Jamar Chase in order first, and then they assess the T. Higgins situation. Either that or they trade T. Higgins in some sort of, situation. But I think there's very little chance they sign T. Higgins to a deal before Jamar Chase. That's just my gut instinct on the situation. I don't think you have to worry about that. But I do feel like this is not as likely as Joe Burrow thinks. But Joe does have some control because Joe can say, hey, let me restructure my deal. He wants this to happen badly. He wants to have success. He's got enough money where he doesn't really have to, like some people will try and be always the top paid player. This guy's got a little flexibility. And he wants his boys. He wants to win. He's getting more money than he can ever spend. And I'm not saying that he isn't going to get greedy at some point and want more. I'm not saying that. But I am saying that right now in his life, he wants longevity. If T isn't there stretching a defense, if it's only Jamar Chase getting double teams and he doesn't quite have the flexibility because this guy's not out there stretching it, then this guy ends up on his back or he ends up hurt. And then he ends up flexing that hand all game long. So there is some logic to him making this work so that he can have more success to get more money downstream. It's all an ebb and flow. It's a big cycle. And he needs to contribute. He knows that. He's smart enough to contribute to get this situation ironed out. The only question will be, does he finish on such a tear, T. Higgins? Because if T. Higgins does what he did in week 14, 20-something yards, if he does that every other game on the way out the door, he's probably not going to get what he wants in negotiation. If he has a couple 150-yard games, then he's going to have some negotiating power, and he might negotiate himself out of Cincinnati. So it's really hard to know what this situation is going to really look like at the end of the day. So much depends on what T does on the way out the door. If he suffers some hamstring injury, which he's struggled with his whole career, I think he's got like something upwards of near 10 hamstring injury report related situations. This guy, if he suffers a hamstring on the way out the door, he's going to have a big mess on his hands, in terms of trying to get the deal he wants and trying to get the money he wants. But if he tears it up on the way out the door, we do have a problem. A little bit of a problem that Joe Burrow can't fix by himself. And then if the Bengals have to get involved, then do they suffer on defense because of it? I don't know. All right, dial in a couple more phone calls, and then your boy's going to be out of here a little early tonight. And we started the show early. We're going to end early. So if anybody's wondering where I am, let them know that we'll be back for the 8 p or the graveyard show. But I had to go live early. I rarely ever am not live during the hour in question. The 8 p.m. show, even if I start the 8 p.m. show late, early. If I start the 8 p.m. show early, I dip into the 8 p.m. hour just to make sure everyone that's coming to find us finds us live. Very rarely am I ever not live during the 8 p.m. hour. So I apologize today on that front. My boy Rise above here in the building, 7-7 and 8-6, made the playoffs. I spoke too soon. Attaboy. Rise. Attaboy. Fantastic news, my guy. Fantastic news. Appreciate your super chat. Appreciate your support. And very excited for you. Last night, he didn't think he was going to get into the playoffs. By the way, remember when I told you Joe Burrow needed a certain number of points in Miss Smitty's league to beat the opponent that I needed her to beat so that my marvelous team of Achan, Kyron, Bijan, Puka, Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, Rashee Rice, who got injured, like that team didn't make the playoffs. Joe Burrow was 1 point shy of what I needed. But I mean, he did an amazing job. We can't complain. Outlaws, New Age dropping 10 gifted memberships. Guys, if you got a membership from New Age Outlaw, please thank New Age for dropping 10 gifted memberships like an absolute straight up monster. Benzel dropping a $5 hauler. Made the playoffs. Mahalo, Smitty. Flex, J-Mo, or Downs, J-Mo. J-Mo, don't hesitate on J-Mo. He has up and down games. He's definitely capable of being that kind of guy, but he's capable of 100 yards and a touchdown any given Sunday, my boy. Start Kincaid or Juwan. You're going to go Juwan, and is likely worth holding on to, probably over Kincaid right now. Just because if Andrews went down, likely would be very relevant, but your boy's going to be Juwan Johnson right now. He's pretty solid. But go J-Mo. Don't even hesitate going J-Mo. I know Downs is an interesting play, but J-Mo is a potential home run hitter that you can't and don't want on your bench. I'm not sitting, my boy. I'm not sitting him. Thank you, Benzo. Appreciate you dropping the super chat. I appreciate New Age dropping the super chat, and I appreciate New Age dropping 15 gifted memberships like an absolute straight savage.
Let him cook. John Robinson. I like long walks on the beach. And, well, I also like scoring.
One more phone call, and then your boy is going to be out of here for right now. Again, I apologize for being early today and not being live during the 8 p.m. hour. It's very rare that this happens. But your boy's got to get to an award. One of the little ones is getting an award today, and your boy can't miss it. So appreciate you all being in the building here. Appreciate you all. File on in. Hit that like button, and then let's take one more phone call.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
And thank you, New Age, for dropping the 15 gifted memberships, the super chat. Thank you, Benzel. Thank you all who have come in here slinging around supers. Rise Above. Appreciate your super chat, Rise Above. Again, excited for you making the playoffs, my boy. Thank you, Gump, for calling in, too. Gump's become kind of a chat favorite lately. People love Gump. Gump, you've got a little fan club, my boy. You got a little fan club. Thanks for the help during the best ball season. With your help, I have 12 teams going to the playoffs. Attaboy, JR. We're gonna have a lot of amazing. Look, best ball 2025 starts in January, and we're just gonna get right into it. We're gonna kickstart it. We're gonna smash the hell out of 2025 best ball, and we're gonna do a lot more drafts this year on the show. But we'll do them in creative ways that don't make it a boring show. We're gonna always have a news topic at hand while the draft is going on. I don't even have time. I don't watch any other shows or anything like that. I'm too busy doing this, but I do hate the concept of just doing a draft show over and over. I love having conversation. And so whenever we draft in 2025, we'll always have a topic at hand. We'll always have conversation going. We'll always have phone calls going, etc., etc. And the draft is peripheral. We're going to have a bunch of fun. We're going to constantly draft. We're going to do a lot of drafts this offseason. But even the topics of the videos, when you're like, oh, I want to see what Smitty filmed last night, what he did last night, you're going to have more than just a draft show. It's not going to be 28 draft shows a month. It's going to be 28 fantasy football conversations with drafting that go with it. And you're going to want to rewatch and replay every show. Replay style if you miss it, regardless of the drafting. Drafting is boring. Drafting and talking and having conversation, that is what's enjoyable. That makes drafting and draft shows amazing. And we're going to make draft shows amazing again in 2025.
Let him cook.
Make drafting amazing again. Say it in the live chat with me. Make drafting amazing again. That's what our goal is going to be this offseason. And the final super chat, and then I'm out of here. Send you my 27-month celebration of the channel. Let's go look for that celebration message. Here it says from Melvin. Let's go, Smitty. I made the playoffs in 2 leagues. Smash, pound, Congrats, Melvin. Melvin, thank you for sharing your message and dropping the super chat. Melvin to the mother freaking moon. Thank you, Melvin. All right. I'll see you guys all tonight. We're going to have a nice little, probably be the AJ Brown conversation. We've had this conversation. Next is the AJ Brown. AJ Brown making a mess in Philly. Is it going to be too messy for this team to advance? I don't know. It certainly isn't clean right now in Philly. It's certainly a bit of a messy relationship between Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown. They're beefing. We're talking about it tonight. And then maybe we do the draft, mock draft as well, or we do the AJ Brown Philly combo tonight and we do the drafting tomorrow. I'm not sure yet. I'll see you all tonight. Appreciate you. Make drafting amazing again. Make it great again.
Take a big lap. We don't need your hang mask coming back now. Take a big lap. Take one and you don't come back.
And yes, we'll be doing all kinds of best ball playoff drafts, of course. Make drafting great again 2025. See you all tonight.